Hi, I'm Tony with Harper Therapy, and I'm with
Alejandra, hi.
and she's another clinician here at Harper. And we are still working through our topic of emotional intelligence. So now we've talked about how to recognize if you need help with emotional intelligence, how it might be showing up in your life, where it stems from, some of the things that we work on in session to help you recognize the emotional intelligence and to kind of move forward with it. So now this week we're talking about, okay, you found out you're emotionally intelligent now. All done, right? That's how that goes?
No, I wish.
Right?
Yeah. So once you realize, hey, this is coming from my childhood, it's not really me, and this is how I can get better through it, working on my childhood wounds, is just gonna take more work. I'm sorry, but not really, because it has to.
Sorry, not sorry.
Yeah, sorry, not sorry. Because it's work that you're gonna be able to do because we're gonna help you through it. You're gonna get the skills to do it. But it's like an everyday thing. Every day you're gonna have to be aware of your emotions.
Be able
That's
to
okay.
recognize
That
them.
means
Yeah.
you're a human.
Absolutely. I think that 100%. So one of the steps you said was finding balance. What does that look like?
So finding balance is like realizing that you're gonna have positive and negative emotions. It's not like once you're emotional intelligent, then you're never gonna be angry. You are. People are gonna do things that are gonna make you angry, and that's okay. It's finding balance on being angry without being explosive. How can I cope through that? When in doubt, I always say validate. Always validate yourself. If you're feeling angry, it's because someone did something that it was unjust to you, that you felt like it wasn't fair. In your perspective, it shouldn't have happened. So instead of being like, oh, I shouldn't have to get angry, or like, oh, what I did that, or whatever goes through your head, just go like, wow, if I'm feeling this, it's for a reason.
Absolutely.
I'm angry. That will help you through it, and then you can find a better way to cope with it. But it doesn't mean now you're never going to have negative emotions. You will. Just find the balance of how to cope without being explosive. And when in doubt, I repeat, always validate. Because never, ever you got that before. So now you get to do it.
And I feel like validation is one of the biggest things that you could do for yourself and do for others. I tell my clients a lot, like, you can come into session with me and you could be mad because the sky is blue. Okay, let's be mad about that. And let's talk about what that's bringing up for you. And then that's bringing up that emotional intelligence. So then the second step, and I love that you said that, okay, now that you're emotionally intelligent, this doesn't mean that you never get mad again.
Yes.
Because that's just
Not possible.
yeah, exactly. That's not going to happen. But then when you found these new ways to cope and you've realized the validating and just understanding, hey, journaling or going for a walk, exercise.
Things that you can do to cope through the anger, right? Because then you're like, okay, I'm angry. It makes sense somehow. Like, you're angry for a reason. So I validate now, how I'm going to let this out without going and yell at my boss, my wife, or hitting someone. Maybe I need to go through a walk. Maybe I need to do some deep breathing. Maybe I need to color. Maybe I need to punch a pillow, never a person. Like, maybe you need to do kickboxing. I'm serious.
Right,
you need to do things to let it out, but that is in a healthy way.
Well, and what I like about all of those things is it comes down to being mindful and focusing on, okay, so I have anger, and I tell clients that anger is a secondary emotion.
Yes.
So what's underneath that anger? What's making you mad? Were you invalidated? Because it happens. Is it that you're sad? You feel left out? You feel like, what are all the other emotions that are coming up underneath that? So I think that the coping mechanisms are, being more mindful about where's this coming from.
It helps you be calm, because once you do something to cope through the anger and you let it out, you can actually think about what makes you angry. But if you just keep it in, you're never going to be able to find out what happened.
Absolutely. Well, and it's like talking with a toddler having a tantrum. You can't fix their behavior when they're having a tantrum. They're not going to understand. So if you try to understand, well, I'm really mad, I'm going to stay mad, and you're like, I need to figure this out, it's not going to work. But if you calm yourself down, you might be able to figure out what's really going on for you. And I think the next one goes with mindfulness, and is checking your body for sensations, which we do a lot here.
Yes. It's so hard when people's like, well, I don't know how I feel. And I'm like, yeah, it's tricky if you never knew how you feel for like 20, 30, 40 plus years of your life. But you can tell how your body feels. There's a difference between feelings and how my body feels. She could feel like I hit her right now.
I'll feel it.
That's an example. Just the body, right? It's like, do you feel it in your chest? Is just chest tight right now? Is your throat? Are you like squeezing your jaw that you can't anymore? Like, are you just like holding your sides very in and your legs? Like, what is it that your body is doing? What sensations do you feel in your body? The more you're aware of it, you're like, oh, it seems like every time he raised his voice at me, my target's jaw, my chest. That's how you can identify. Maybe that's anger. Maybe that's sadness. Maybe that's fear. But if you identify how your body feels, then you can put an emotion to that.
Yes.
That makes sense.
Absolutely.
Yes, sorry. You didn't really punch her.
Sometimes. She's violent. Just be warned.
This is not true.
So, and the last one is showing empathy.
Yes. It goes with validation. Like the first part was validation, but also you need to show empathy and kindness to yourself. Are the things you're saying to yourself the same things you would tell someone else that you care about? Let's put it that, because maybe you tell someone else, but someone else that you care about. Because if you weren't saying those things, why should you hear that? You don't deserve it. So showing that empathy, that compassion of like whatever you're feeling or whatever you're struggling in your body, that will help you through. Because you're not gonna learn if you're making yourself feel bad.
If you're being mean to yourself, right?
Yeah, you're more willing to learn about your emotions and you're encouraging to do it.
I love that. Just making sure, because when I first read this, I was like, show empathy to others. All right, I guess I kind of get that. But it's about showing empathy to yourself and showing yourself kindness and just understanding that. And I love that because I use that a lot in session where it's like, okay, so if your friend came over and said they had a bad day, are you going to be like, oh, you're stupid, you shouldn't have had a bad day?
Suck it up.
Yeah, suck it up, buttercup. Like, no, you wouldn't say that to your friend. You would make sure that they're okay. How can I help? So why don't you do that to yourself?
And once you start doing it to yourself, you're going to have more compassion with other people. Because sometimes other people are having a bad day and we like cannot get that. We can't. But once I'm starting being compassionate with myself, be like, it's okay to have bad days. It's okay to feel this. When someone else is struggling, I'm going to be able to be compassionate with them. And it's so much easier then to handle their emotions. Because you know what that looks like and you know how good it feels to be compassionate and validated. So then you can do that to other people because that's also hard.
Yeah, absolutely. So if any of this is something that interests you, if you feel like you're struggling with your partner, if you have a whole like self-hatred script that runs through your head when you have a bad day, give us a call at Harper Therapy. Our phone number is 813-434-3639. Have a great day, guys.